What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Garrett Bishop,
And I'm Ryla Manalang. I'll be your other host for today's podcast.
and today we're talking about the back-to-back World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, the big question for the Dodgers this season is, can they pull off the unthinkable and do what hasn't been done in sports since the early 2000s with the Los Angeles Lakers and get a three-peat? Opening day is come and gone. We're about 2 weeks into the season, and it's safe to say that the Dodgers have picked up right where they left off. So there's no better time to talk about what could lie ahead than right now.
Baseball fans are split. On one hand, Dodgers diehards are hoping and dreaming of a three-peat, while everyone views them as the evil empire, praying that someone, anyone, can take them down. We've got three very different voices joining us: a diehard Dodgers fan, a former Dodgers writer, and a Yankees and Padres fan who cannot stand LA. We'll break down the key questions: what needs to go right, what could go wrong, and which teams are the biggest threats. Let's get into it. Today we've got someone very special joining us. This isn't just a fan, this is the kind of person who schedules life around the first pitch, who can recite stats like their lyrics, and who's been riding every high and low with the boys in blue. First off, on the mic, we have Anthony Machado, a die-hard Dodgers fan.
As a Dodger fan, I absolutely love where the Dodgers stand currently. And if I'm being honest, I feel like it's because we're kind of the best in almost every aspect of the game. I feel like our offense is really unbelievable. And now that we have Kyle Tucker on the team, there's really no doubt that we could get, those three championships. Honestly, not only that, but I feel like in our division and like the National League as a whole tend to kind of struggle when they play against us. And I feel like that's probably why in this moment the Dodgers are already thinking about the playoffs.
A big thanks to Anthony for his insight and coming on our podcast for his unbiased opinion, of course. Well, now let's switch things up a bit. You've heard from the die-hard in blue. Now it's time for a completely different perspective. Joining us is proud Yankees fan and, yes, a certified Dodgers hater, Adrian Melendez.
As a longtime Yankees fan and even more so a Dodger hater, it's unfortunate for me to say that I definitely think the Dodgers have a chance at having a three-peat. There's a couple of different reasons why. I would say the first one's going to be momentum. Obviously, back-to-back, you have very, very high expectations. And when it comes to these sorts of regular season games, the Dodgers just kind of expect to win and win and win and focus really on what's to come in October, which are the playoffs. So I think that's a really big thing. And then it's just absolute addition of superstars. That's a really big one. I think that with the addition of Kyle Tucker now being in the right field, that's just going to be another really, really key piece for the Dodgers to continue adding on to their offense with their already star-studded lineup and pitching rotation, bullpen. They just, got Edwin Diaz as well. So that's going to be a really, really key thing on why I definitely think that the Dodgers have a chance at winning it.
Big thanks to Adrian for coming on to the show. Next, we have someone who is actually within the Dodgers organization. Christian Monreal spent a lot of time writing for the Dodgers as well as being a part of their media team. If anyone's qualified to say anything about the Dodgers, it's him. Here's what he had to say.
I definitely think the way things line up for the end of the year in terms of an outcome, I would probably say, there's no real reason why this Dodgers team shouldn't be a repeat champion at the end of the season. Once again, I think from top to bottom, that organization just really does everything right. I mean, you could argue after the World Series ended last season that this team really didn't need to make too many moves. Dodgers ownership, I mean, they've really found their formula to kind of win. They have one of the best, if not the best, minor league development program right now. And not only that, but they have the money to go out and get guys that are going to help them simply win. I mean, going into last free agency, the Dodgers still arguably were the best team in all of baseball. And what did the front office do? They went out and got the two best available players, in Edwin Diaz and in Kyle Tucker to go out and help them go on another mission of trying to win another championship. And there's people that are going to complain. There's people that are going to cry. saying that this team has more resources than other teams. And at the end of the day, it's simple. It really depends on just how much your ownership group and your owners are going to invest.
Appreciate Chris for coming on to the show, and a big thank you to the rest of our guests for coming on. That's all the time we have today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.